Hi, welcome to Your Guide to Outside. Julie and I just got back from a trip recently from the Grand Canyon where we spent 5 days down in the canyon. I've got a video out there that highlights the whole trip that we took. And then these videos right here are going to be 5 in a row that are going to be each day, one at a time. I took a lot of video while we were down the canyon, and it was hard to get that first one out just because I was trying to pick the highlights, the best ones, to keep that video kind of short. I think it still ended up about 30 minutes, but it was a spectacular time, and we really enjoyed it. So we hope you do too. So here we go. Here's day.
So our day one starts on the South Kiaba trail, and that's the trail we're taking down to Bright Angel Campground. It was really windy up on the rim, so I have the microphone off for quite a bit of this until we get over the edge of Skeleton Point. So we're heading to Uau Point is our first stop, which is 1 mile from the rim. And while the trail starts out, it looks pretty nice and easy, it quickly shows you what it's going to be like with a bunch of switchbacks right there as you turn the corner. Uau Point is a great spot to day hike to. You get some incredible 180-degree views up and down the canyon that you can't get anywhere else. So it's a nice hike. It's only 1 mile from the rim, and I think if you're just moderately in shape, you could make that hike pretty easily. Our next stop's going to be Cedar Ridge. It's a 1/2 mile from here, so it's 1.5 miles from the rim.
right, we're at Cedar Ridge. It's about a mile and a half. There's a rest area here. See the little cedars behind me. And we take a little break here and we're getting ready to head on down the trail.
Our next stop is Skeleton Point, which is right there, and it is about a mile and a half from Cedar Ridge, so that makes it 3 miles from the rim. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. That is a bike. And this guy passed us going down the trail. And I was like, where's he headed with that bike? More on him later.
Look, you can see that hiker over there. Barely. Yeah, going across. Yeah, so that's Skeleton Point, and then there's a bunch of switchbacks that go straight down the back side, and they hit those switchbacks, and then off down to a flat point. Can't remember the name. Some of the trail is pretty sandy, and you got to watch your footing. I'm wearing a pair of running Hokas, kind of slippery at times. Julie has a pair of Hoka hikers on, and she's doing great. So it's kind of warning there. Watch your footing on the South Kiaba trail. It's a little sandy. It's been all downhill up to this point. Man, I'm looking forward to this flat stretch out to Skeleton Point. Take a break there before we head down.
So we're coming up onto Skeleton Point, and this is where we caught that biker again. And he was stopped there trying to rummage through his stuff. I wasn't sure what he was doing. And we went ahead and passed him. I really wanted to talk to him. But I did catch up with him at Phantom Ranch and talk to him more there. So the full story when we get to the bottom. Our next stop is Tip-Off Point. It's about another mile and a half from Skeleton Point. Skeleton Point is a great place to turn around if you're just doing a day hike. The switchbacks get pretty serious from here. Tip-Off Point is 4.5 miles from the rim, and it does have a bathroom, but there's no water on this trail.
This is our first view of the Colorado River. Man, I don't know where this trail goes. It heads off this way, but then it comes back over somewhere down there. There's Tip-Off Point. Rest area has bathrooms and a phone in case you have an emergency.
So this is Tip-Off Point. You can see the restrooms there in the background. Our next stop will be Bright Angel Campground, which is 7 miles from the rim, so 2.5 more miles, and we're there.
Bright Angel Creek right there. The campground's got to be pretty close. Right there. right, we're getting closer. Right down there is Bright Angel Campground. We can start to make out the little campgrounds and some tents along there. There's the bridge. Bright Angel Creek coming right down beside it. There's a rest stop right there. Bathroom. All we gotta do is get to it. Yeah, there's the black bridge that we'll be crossing here before long. Just a couple hundred more switchbacks, and we're there, Julie. Oh, cactus. There's a Silver Bridge. We'll be taking it on day 3. Day 4. Last leg. There's the tunnel you go into to get to the bridge. There's the bridge that crosses the Colorado, the Black Bridge. Julie, we made it to the bottom.
Yay!
All right, we made it to the bottom. And here's a tunnel that goes to the Black Bridge. This is Bright Angel Creek. And here's the bridge that goes over to Bright Angel Campground. And then the campground sit right up there. All right, we're going down the river to soak our feet and brush our teeth and get ready for bed. We had a long day. It took us about 7, maybe 8 hours to get down here, but we took our time and looked around a lot, so it was a good trip. Got our tent all set up. It's right here by the bridge. We just picked number 1. Went down, soaked our feet. Got everything put up, bagged up. It's videotaping. This is Phantom Ranch. They've got some cabins you can rent. There's about a 12-month waiting period for these things, but if you check, they did have some availability while we were down there, so we could have stayed in one if we didn't. We actually met a camper who'd been on a 2 or 3 day hike with a group, and she decided to get a cabin and said it was very comfortable. This is the cantina. This is where you would eat, and right there on the side you can get drinks. We got postcards for the grandkids there, and this is where I caught up with the backpacker. Jill and I were at the cantina getting postcards for our grandkids, and that's where we ran into this guy packing the bike again. We were standing there looking at the cards, and he come up. He was looking for some ibuprofen, and they had some at the cantina, so he had bought some. And so while he was standing there, I'm like, so what are you doing with that bike in the canyon? I didn't think you could ride him in here. And he's like, no, you can't. A group of us are riding the Arizona Trail, and they won't let us ride in the canyon, so we carry him through. And the South Kiaba and the North Kaibab just happened to be part of the Arizona Trail. And he asked me if I was familiar with it, and I told him I wasn't. So basically, here's a map of it. It stretches from the it stretches from the Mexico border all the way up to the Utah border. It's about 800 miles. So at this point, he's about 685, I think that's what I got off the map, 685 miles into the race, and there's like another 117 or something like that left, and for the whole race. And so he's getting some ibuprofen. I told him that when he passed us at Cedar Ridge, on our way off of Cedar Ridge, that I was like, holy cow, there's a guy with a bike, and he just passed us. And then I saw him again when we passed him at Skeleton Point, where he was rummaging through his stuff. And he said, yeah, he pulled his quad coming off of Cedar Ridge, and he was stopped to get some ibuprofen at Skeleton Point, but he couldn't find it. So he made it down to the bottom. He was hoping to get down there in time before the cantina closed, and so he's glad to catch it. It was about 5 o'clock, and I think the cantina stays open till 8 or so. Yeah, check local listings for that, though. Anyway, I was like, well, where's the rest of your group? He said a group of them were riding the trail, and he's like, oh, we're all scattered out. So I was like, well, is this a race or something? He's like, no, not really. He's like, it's timed, but we, spread out, and there's no prize money or trophies or awards or anything at the end of it. It's just, you just try to do this fast as you can. So anyway, so here's the website on the Arizona Trail, and you can check out these things. But he showed me he had a thing on his bike that'd keep track of his position and where he was at on the race, and they could tell where he was at. And he wasn't in the lead, and he said the last guy was like 2 or 3 hours ahead of him or something like that. And so I was like, will you spend the night in the canyon? He's like, no, I don't have a permit, so I've got to get out of the canyon. And he thought he'd be out about 1, maybe midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And it was 5 o'clock, and it was 14 miles to the rim from there. And so that's like, 2 miles an hour going, and he just came down into the canyon, and now he's getting ready to head right back out with just a short break and some ibuprofen and a pulled quad. And I'm like, man, you're a beast. I can't believe you're going to do this. And so the guy that run the canteen was like, well, we've got extra cabins that nobody's using if you'd like one. And he's like, no, I got to keep going. I'm meeting a guy in Utah to pick me up, so I have him on kind of a time frame. And she's like, I'll give it to you for free. And he was like, oh man, I'd love to, especially with this pulled quad, but I need to keep going and make my deadline. So I looked it up, go back on that website. So they left the 19th of October, and it was the 30th. I think it was the 30th one. So he's about 11 days into this, and he's probably about 7/8 of the way through it. So he's probably only got, like a couple, 3 days left. And so that's going to put him at like maybe 15 days. And I looked it up, and I think guys who do this all the time, about 20 days is kind of the average. So he was ahead of the game, but he wasn't in the lead by any means, he said. So anyway, that's what the bikers are doing in the canyon. You happen to run on one, say hi to them. And a lot of this stuff for the Arizona Trail, if you look through the website, is just to advertise and to promote the Arizona Trail and the use of it. So check that website out.
It's like, how do we even walk right past them?
I don't know.
And they're not
You
even
see
scared.
three?
Yeah, there's one right through there.
Yeah? Oh, I see it. Yeah, it must be the mom and a baby. Yeah, there's one on the other trail.
Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like and share this with some of your other friends. And until next time, get out there and do something.